She protects, she attack, but most importantly, she sure the back. Last time on my wedding dress series, my friends came together to help me cut out, sew together, and iron out the problems in my wedding dress. Iron out the problems. Get it? Because there's an iron on this. Anyway, after a lot of hard work, sadly, when I did the first fitting with the dress, things did not go to plan.
Oh, I'm stuck.
I had to literally be cut out of the dress because it was way too tight on my stomach and hips. So tight you could clearly see my belly button, and it was suffocating me a little, so not good. It was time to go back and figure out how to make it fit better. And that, folks, is what you get for making your tulle in a different fabric to your final project. Oh, and just by the way, all of what you're about to see was filmed in the before times, mostly the end of February and beginning of March. I am not flagrantly disregarding social distancing rules to invite a bunch of friends over to stand in a tiny room and touch me, so don't worry. So the sewing friends came around again a few days later, and we all started making flower crowns out of my wedding decorations instead, because apparently it's 2012! Huh?
Episode 3 of the sitcom.
Yeah, episode 4.
Get flowers.
Eventually we did get to work, but first I will reacquaint you all with the gang. Alright, so back to the now cut up dress. Before we did anything, Chloe got me to put the dress back on so we could see what we needed to do in order to make the dress fit correctly. We decided that it would need to be upsized. This was all a little bit of process of trial and error, but with Chloe on hand, who is much more experienced in dressmaking and resizing than I am, and the fantastic brainstorming of the rest of the group, we figured it out. We couldn't just recut the sections of the skirt that needed to be larger, sadly, because like the chump that I am, I didn't buy enough fabric to allow for really any mistakes. So we simply didn't have enough fabric to recut panels on the skirt. We also couldn't fix it simply by making the shirring panel larger, either wider or deeper. I was initially confused by why I couldn't just fix it like this. However, as Chloe explained it,
You can see that there is fabric here, but it's not being pulled out to make it wider. So if you see from here, the piece is big here, but it's not big here.
basically, we have too much butt fabric, but because of the way the seams work, we can't simply redirect that fabric to the places it's needed. We eventually decided that we would need to add new side panels into the dress on either side. These extra side panels are called gores. They are also known as gussets or gode? I have no idea how to pronounce that, sorry. And in this case are triangle pieces of fabric that are inserted either into an already existing seam or a new slit to give a garment some extra fullness. So what we did first was to seam rip the side seams open just a short amount, to the point where you couldn't clearly see my belly button from the stretched fabric, but the dress was still tightly fitted because I do want the fit to be close to my body. Chloe just tried to get the measurements of this triangle, but then...
You know what is a better idea?
Chloe runs to the unfinished sewing, well, the scrap pile.
To get the exact right shapes for the triangle-shaped gores, Chloe shoved this random scrap piece of fabric down into my dress and lined up the edges of the ripped seam around it, contouring all of the fabric flat to my body, but in a position where I could also breathe properly as well. So we're basically draping at this point an I'm Alive dress form. Once Chloe had fitted it well, she drew chalk lines directly onto the scrap fabric that outlined the size of this new triangular gore. Also note that we accounted for the seam allowance on both fabrics as well. So we had to add seam allowance to the gore after fitting. However, the seam allowance on the dress was already folded in on either side to account for it.
This is a piece of pattern. Don't add that in.
While Chloe worked on refining the gore pattern, I made up another shirring diamond, just like in the last episode. Then I had a minor breakdown.
Sure is. I have to redo all of the shirring.
No!
Psst, we're gonna make Annika feel better in a minute.
If you want to know. Oh, pancake. Oh.
It's not so bad, is it?
Fine. It's fine when you got friends. Yeah.
To hand you a stuffed animal at a really inopportune moment. Pancake's the manager.
Alright. Everything is okay.
So that newly found calm lasted about 2 minutes.
Oh my god, this fabric. I hate it. I hate it.
No pain, only pancake.
It's gonna go fine.
Yeah, it's gonna turn out gorgeous.
Good enough.
Yes. Good enough is fine. Oh, that's so attractive. That should be the thumbnail. She protects, she attack, but most importantly, she share the back.
I then spent what felt like an entire day shirring this new piece for the back of the dress. Moving on, let's look at how those gauze turned out. So we've ended up with 2 of these weird ass shapes that are going in the sides of the dress, but look, they work. It's fine. It's so fine.
And then later, they weren't fine.
They weren't fine.
It was such a mess.
Womp womp.
And then it was a huge...
So the other night we realized the gauze needed to be recut because these ones weren't cut on the same grain, and on satin that's very obvious. So we left it there for the night. I've got 5 days left to finish my dress and it's currently in this state. It's not actually 5 days till the wedding, but it's 5 days till me and Luciano are taking our wedding photos, like our nice pretty wedding photos that people usually take on the day. We're getting them done a couple of weeks early. Anyway, gotta say that I'm freaking out just a little bit. Chloe helped me write a list to just like set out the steps, prove that there wasn't all that much left to do. So this is what we've got left. We have to recut the gauze, sew them in, which includes inset seams, my enemy, pin the shirring, sew it in place. Then we have to recut the straps because the ones we cut before are now too short because of the gauze we've added. Sew the straps and attach them to the dress, then hem the dress. So I'm gonna get started now, attempt to do as much as I possibly can. And then people are coming over tomorrow to help me do some sewing, and in 3 days time. If it's not finished by then, look, I don't know, I don't wanna think about that. Let's get back on the machine. Okay, the first step is recutting the gauze on the correct grain gauze. Now we gotta insert these into the side of the dress. 2 hours later and I have done one perfect inset seam. It'll look better once I iron it. And one not good one that I have tried to do a few times now. I'm not gonna show you, it's too embarrassing, oh my gosh. This dress, everyone, it's driving me up the wall. 3 hours of sewing later and I have both of the gauze in. I've still got to get the shirring inserted, but I'm really going to need help with that. So I'm going to save that for when all my friends come tomorrow. Fingers crossed we get a lot done then. Poppy just explained how I'm very silly, and I'm going to get her to explain it again so that everyone in the comments doesn't roast me for this, because now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's very obvious. So what did I do wrong?
So I've already roasted Annika. So we've had to add in this little V-shaped piece to make it a bit wider. And so what Annika did was sew it as an inset seam, like
in a corner.
And it was very hard.
Sew it like a corner. But I suggested, obviously too late, it would have been easier to unpick this seam down a bit further where that corner would be. Sew the panel on to the top of this panel to make it one continuous panel, and then sew the seam up.
Yes. Which would have been so much easier. With now 4 days until it needed to be finished, and in full Bridezilla mode, I set everyone to task. Kit with recutting the new straps that I had measured out that morning, Poppy with sewing the shirring into the back of the dress, including that little inset seam because I just could not bring myself to do that again, and Luci with decorating some arches with flowers. And it all started coming together. Let's retake that first failed try on, shall we?
Quiet on set.
Yeah! Look! Whoa!
Oh, good.
It's so comfortable! It fits! I can move! It's perfect! Yeah!
Thanks, everyone.
Yay! Okay, we've made it. It's the final countdown, the final dress down. Hopefully, the final day of making my wedding dress today, we will get it finished. No, that's copyright! Determined, we started off the day with a good workflow. First up on the list was sewing the strap pieces together, and then putting them on the dress. Chloe and I worked on the machines, sewing the seams that needed to be sewed, which we then handed to Poppy to notch, iron, and repin the next seam. And as you can all imagine, as we sat there, we had some very thoughtful, intelligent conversations. We're finishing the seams, yeah! Doing some chopping and cutting and chipping and snipping, yeah! Doing the strap dance, yeah! This is royalty-free music, yeah! With the straps now done and attached to the dress, it was time for me to try it on again. At this point, I got very excited and made a host of high-pitched noises. Unfortunately, the fit wasn't perfect, but with such little time left, we just needed to think of some last-minute adjustments.
So, we tried our best to fix the gaping. I don't know what happened. I don't know why it still gapes. Maybe it would have
Fabric just be like this.
Fabric just be like this, especially this fabric. I am never using this kind of fabric again. Anyway, we're just gonna add little baby dots and it will be fine.
It will.
Fine. Everyone's calm.
Look at that shirring. Look at it go. Look at the way it drapes. Love it. Love it so much. What?
Oh my god! We are now shaping the hem.
The hemline was all random and spiky up until this point because we didn't bother with cutting it to any particular length until I could try it on and we could cut it to the exact right length for my wedding shoes. Chloe is cutting it to floor length. All the way around, which is like 5 meters and something. It's a lot. Who will tie her first, Chloe or Annika's feet?
Oh my gosh, it's so long. I look like a mermaid.
But the best thing, I think I made that a bit too. Is gonna happen.
Oh my god!
Wow!
Oh, I'm so excited.
You're getting married!
No, I'm not.
And then it was just a matter of putting those final touches in place, which included hand sewing the straps, the new bust darts, and the super long hem.
Hey Chloe, you've got to iron about 5 meters of hem now. We're gonna be here all night. We got the sewing team working hard, and then over here. And they were soulmates. Oh my god, they were soulmates.
Stop it.
Hey Chloe, what are you doing with the hem now?
I'm hemming it.
We've all lost our minds a little bit. It's been a long day.
I don't even know why we're doing it.
What are we doing with the hem now?
I ironed. Now it's time to foldy fold and sewy sew.
I made my wedding dress. Can we please get that as an emoji and then we'll use it in place of the dancing lady emoji? It's just the dancing Annika emoji.
Oh my god, it's beautiful! We're getting married! You
I look like such a good Italian boy.
Yeah, you do.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Zoom on that.
Ooh.
Boobs. I've already gotten so much footage of Annika's boobs, they're not even real boobs anymore. They're a cinematographic piece. I'm gonna hand sew this triangle. It's gonna be invisibly done on this side here.
Hey Chloe, how you going there? Such a good job. It never ends.
Where are you up to? It looks like you don't have that much left.
Amazing.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my god, it's the final stitch.
Ready?
Oh, and back stitch.
Safety third.
Chloe, you did it! Woohoo!
Annika, you can't cry, because if you cry, I will start crying.
Oh, you look like a princess!
You look like a princess!
So, holy our wedding's in a week, but with all the the world is wild right now. We were already gonna have a rehearsal today and the celebrant and all of our close friends and family were gonna be there, so we're getting real married today. I did not sleep all night because I was so stressed out. The government just announced that they were cancelling events
unnecessary events that were over 500 people. What's a necessary event that's over 500 people? I don't know, but our wedding's only 100 people, but you know, it's a week away. The situation is so unpredictable. Anything could happen between now and then, and basically I woke up and Luci was like, look, we can still have a party as long as everything's still chill in a week, but if it's not, we don't have to worry that, you know, we haven't been able to get married. You can probably tell I've been crying all morning. My eyes are so puffy. Yeah, we're getting married today. Oh boy. Okay, so that's happening. Gotta do my hair in like 2 hours. I'm still gonna wear my wedding dress today and Luci's gonna wear a suit, but no one else really has their fancy clothes ready to wear. I'm babbling. Oh my gosh. Okay, I've got to do my hair and get ready. What? This is like some wild rom-com.
Hello everyone.
Hi! It felt weird to just end the video
To just
there.
abruptly finish.
So
Here's our post-match chat.
when you said post-match, I thought you'd been like, oh, we got matched up in an arranged marriage. That's where my brain went.
No, our post-game. Our post-game, you know.
Recap.
You know, when the soccer game ends and they have the people in the studio and they talk about what happened in the game. Mm-hmm. Why I chose soccer as the example.
Yeah, you don't watch soccer.
No. Any sport. Substitute any sport you like. Lacrosse, darts.
Or marriage.
Because all these videos were building up to what I think people expected to see, a few photos and snippets of video from a big wedding.
Yes, and we expected that also.
That is still our plan, to have a big wedding. You know, the world is such an uncertain place right now, but at some point in the future, maybe next year, maybe later than that, it will happen. We'll have our big wedding when we planned.
Yeah.
I mean, we made a whole video about what happened with our wedding,
Yeah.
which Annika will link.
Yeah.
But basically...
Click on the eye. Click on the eye. I'm not sure what side it's on.
You know, but basically we were like, let's get legally married at the rehearsal. We'll have some of our nearest and dearest there, and it will be very improvised and romantic and sitcom-ish. And lucky we did. Turns out we probably would have been waiting a long time to get married, so it's nice to be married. We don't even have wedding rings, I just realised.
Yeah, we messed up and we forgot our wedding rings.
Well, we
but look,
thought we would have them by the time of the wedding, but then we had to have it early, so...
I will be wearing my wedding dress again when we do have our big party, our big celebration eventually. I'm really super glad I put in that shirring panel now because my weight likes to fluctuate a lot and it means that it will fit.
And the other lucky thing is that you just saw some very beautiful photos of us at the wedding venue. Those... we had already planned before the pandemic started to take our couple's wedding photos on a different day. So you would have more energy on the actual day. So very luckily we have all these lovely photos.
We have some really nice wedding
And when we
photos.
do end up having the big ceremony, we won't have to take you and me photos again.
I'm just really happy to be married to you.
Aw, I'm happy to be married to you. Let's shake on it.
What? Just want to give a really big shout out to my friends who helped me make my dress, and we just had the nicest time together, and I'm just so happy that we have all those memories together as well, especially because I've gone now like 3 months without seeing anybody. So it's been really nice.
face to face. You've been Zooming with people and calling people and...
In real life.
Yes.
But yeah, I do miss having people over. Also, I want to mention, in the video, I show me being walked down the aisle by my parents. Luci also got walked down the aisle as well because gender equality.
But we didn't include my parents for privacy reasons.
Yeah, but I just wanted to point that out.
Annika's parents have been on the channel many times.
Yeah.
My parents are private citizens, and, you know, if their secret identities were discovered, then Lex Luthor would take them down, etc. So...
Who's Lex Luthor?
Superman's enemy.
Oh.
Lex Luthor?
No.
See what I'm working with?
How do we end? How do we end videos? Never know.
Take a
Husband
look.
and wife out.
Ending number 1000. Quick.
Stay crafty,
Stay
everyone.
crafty, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. It's
That's
over.
the best one. That's the best one. Have you ever needed a helping hand? This crew's got you. They'll see you through to the end. They'll sew up a storm, and before too long they'll have finished Annika's dress, her wedding dress for her big day.
I love it.
'Cause they're the sewing friends.